welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be playing with alcohol inks on Yupo paper to make the black background for this gorgeous thank you card. So I've got this Frisk A5 Yupo paper. So I'm going to put it on a spare piece of scrap paper just so that I don't get everything everywhere. And I've got 3 colours of alcohol inks, although I'm not sure whether I'm going to use them all yet. They're all Ultra inks, and I've got Azurite, Amethyst and Aqualicious. So I'm going to start with the Aqualicious. I'm just going to have a little play. So I've put a couple of drops on there, and then I'm just going to use the lightest number 1 on my heat gun and just kind of move that around and see what we get. And then I've also got this rubbing alcohol. Pop some of the rubbing alcohol in a pipette, and I'm going to drop a little bit of that around as well. And I think what I'm going to do is to pop a few drops of this into, this is just like a plastic shot glass, and I'm going to pop a few drops of the alcohol in as well. And then I've got another pipette, and I'm going to just drop some of that over. So next I'm going to drop on some of this Pinata colour brass. I'm just going to let that go around as well. Now I'm going to have a go with this Azurite as well. So now we've got this really cool background, and I'm going to set that aside for a minute to dry. So then I've cut our gorgeous paper down. So I've got a 5-inch square card blank, that's Stampin' Up! Night of Navy. Then I've got this gold pearlescent cardstock, and then I've got this piece that we've done on the Yupo paper. So this is 5 inches square, this is 4.5 inches square, and this is just an 1/8 inch smaller than that, so 4 3/8 inches. So I'm going to use this large stamp from the Inky Bouquet stamp set from Ultra. I've got masks all over it, but it's this large flower. See, it's very well loved. And I'm just going to stamp it in this corner. So then I'm going to ink this up with some VERSAMARK ink. And then I'm going to cover that with some of the Ultra Antique Gold embossing powder. And really I'm looking to add more to the background rather than to have a really clear image, because obviously where there's gold in the background and the background's very busy, then you won't really see the image as a clear image, but it's just more to add to the background. So let's just heat that up. And this Yupo paper, I probably shouldn't have embossed it so much because it's kind of buckled a bit. So I've cut it down to get rid of the worst of it. So now this piece is 4 inches square, and this piece is 1/8 of an inch less than that, so 3 7/8 inches. And then I'm just going to glue that to that and put it under a book to try and get rid of some of that warping. So then I've got this Biggest Wish stamp set from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to use this thanks sentiment, and I'm just going to heat emboss that onto a piece of the same navy blue cardstock as the card blank. And then I'm going to heat that up. And then I'm going to cut that down around the thanks. So I'm going to grab some foam pads and add them to the back of this piece. and also some more to the sentiment. So then you can see we've got this really beautiful background that becomes like the star of the show for the card. Like I said, learn from my mistakes. Don't use the heat gun too much on the heat embossing. Just literally lightly heat emboss it, because otherwise it's going to warp the card. I actually think that's turned out really nicely now. You can see it's got a really nice shine to it. Like some of the alcohol ink, where it's gone on a bit thicker, is really shiny and adds a really nice texture to it. You could also do like bigger pieces, play with different colours, cut up a load for loads of different cards. So it's a nice way to bulk make cards as well and make them really personal. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I'd appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the supplies that I've used for today's card are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that makes it easier to find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.